everyone. Welcome to AFP Charlotte Chapter National Philanthropy Day Luncheon. I am Ohavia Phillips, and I am so excited to be joining my AFP family for a day of networking and all things collaboration and all things philanthropy. So first things first, I would like to brag about AFP Charlotte Chapter. When other chapters opted out of their National Philanthropy Day Luncheon, AFP here in Charlotte said, you know what? Let's keep it going. And you are seeing that live. That's right, friends. We have decided to pivot, even amidst a pandemic, to bring you not only all things networking and collaboration, but people, and also to discuss how we can continue to pull up for all of our amazing community leaders right where we are. So you might be thinking, okay, what is Lunchpool? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because I got you. So in this current climate, I know that you all are used to having to pivot on different platforms such as Zoom, and now welcome to Lunchpool. Here's what I have for you. Here's some good news. The features are very similar to that of Zoom, but oh, so much better, okay? So you will be able to chat, you will be able to network with other people at your virtual table, and please check the chat box right now for the topics that we will have you all discuss, okay? So you are tuned in, you have the best seat in the house. Welcome to our theme of, you already know what it is, celebrating the path forward, where during this time in the pandemic, where we were forced to pivot and everything in between, now's the time even more where we can move on and move forward. So I'm gonna give you all 10 minutes to get to know this platform a little bit more. So get to network at your tables, and I want you to even give it a go in the chat box. So let's practice. In the chat box, I want you all to discuss what does it mean to celebrate the path forward, okay? So ready, set, go. Okay, friends, so listen, continue to engage in the chat, and we want to see all of your responses. Once again, you are at the best seat at the house, and even though this is a lot different than what we expected, we have done a phenomenal job here at AFP, the Charlotte chapter, to pivot and keep the networking going, okay? So keep going in the chat, keep getting used to it. I am live with amazing professionals here in the city of Charlotte, and we will definitely keep it going. But keep going, go ahead. What does it mean to celebrate the path forward to you? Let us know. I know personally for me, it is basically what we're seeing in real time. Amid this pandemic, with everything going on, we're continuing to not only bring you this experience, but make sure that we network and collaborate. Big shout out to Lunchpool as well for affording us this platform and this opportunity to bring this amazing experience to the world. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Okay, friends, so listen, welcome to the pivot, and here we are. So I wanted to take a look at some of your table chats. How is it going for you? Is everything going well? Okay, but you gotta talk back to me, okay, friends? So listen, keep engaging in the chat and keep it going. Nice. Okay, so next up, I would like to welcome Miss Penny Hawkins. So can I brag about her a little bit? Miss Penny is an amazing individual, truly a pioneer. She is the AFP Charlotte Chapter President. Penny is the embodiment of all of the characteristics and qualities of leadership, integrity, service, and the standards that is of excellence for the fundraising profession here for AFP in Charlotte. Penny serves as a senior consultant for PMA Consulting, an organization that works with nonprofit leaders, and she says she enjoys her 15 years of experience here in Charlotte, both for-profit and also nonprofit, because she continues to serve. Please help me in welcoming this amazing woman, Penny Hawkins.
Thank you, Ohavia. Sorry, struggling for a second to get the mask off. That's taking some getting used to. It's such a pleasure to join each of you today in order to recognize the outstanding contributions made in support of our Charlotte community, share time with our colleagues, and indeed celebrate a path forward, not simply in regards to post-COVID and what that means for each of us, but also to search to find the positive amidst this devastating global communal experience. One thing that resonates more loudly than ever is gratitude. Thankfulness for those gifts, both large and small. And there's really no better example of that than the over 1,000 community members who came together to raise over $23 million through the COVID Relief Fund. The fund was launched last spring by United Way of Central Carolinas and Foundation for the Carolinas, and really helped make an impact on critical needs for nonprofits and those they serve in Charlotte. As we head into a holiday season, it's yet another reminder of finding gratitude. It's the time to find gratitude and opportunities to be together, both in person and virtually. If MPD has taught us anything, it's that the path forward requires flexibility. We can still find joy in gathering and celebrating, it's just going to look a little different. I'm reminded of our event last year and seeing so many of you face to face. I joked last night that might have been the last event I attended in person that was large, but as a member of AFP Charlotte, it's one of my favorite events of the year. We get to celebrate the generosity of our community, and we get to celebrate each other. That so many of you are in attendance today for our virtual luncheon, it's a testament to the sense of community that our 300 members and 175 organizations that they represent embody. And while COVID has knocked many of us and our organizations back, it certainly has not curtailed the important work that we do every day. In many ways, the current environment has only underscored the importance of our work. AFP continues with our critical professional development and networking opportunities for our members. This year, we've deepened our commitment to initiatives like IDEA, which is Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Access. This included the launch of an 8-week diversity dialogue series over the summer that we plan to continue in the spring, a subsequent book club, and features in our monthly newsletter that provide critical resources. We're also in the second year of a strategic plan that focused on talent recruitment, diversifying our membership base, and using our collective voices for policy advocacy. We're also pleased this year to continue our efforts around scholarships and professional development. Our hope is to use over $5,000 to award to members this year, and I'm proud to say that at the end of the year, we'll hopefully have awarded 14 membership scholarships. And if you haven't heard from members today, there's a special drawing for one free year of membership. We're also pleased to help offset the costs associated with the Certified Fundraising Executive Professionals certification and recertification. Our chapter provides exclusive access to relevant webinars, white papers, regional and national conferences. And I want to thank those who serve on the mentoring program, who give back to those that are new and starting out in our profession. Ours is a volunteer-led and run organization, and I just want to take a moment to personally thank our board, committees, and the special group that put together today's event. Nick Stewart and Sydney Hammond faced every challenge with a smile, including the flood today. And then none of our work would be possible without the work of Alice Harry. We truly appreciate all your efforts in making events today possible. Sponsors are also vital to our success and the outreach that AFP Charlotte conducts. We're so fortunate to enjoy the support of our Heart of Gold sponsor, Foundation for the Carolinas. I'd like to thank them not only for their gifts to AFP Charlotte, but to the community. Their work here touches so many. I'd also like to thank Southminster, which is a retirement community in South Charlotte, that generously underwrote this restaurant partnership that we have today. We were allowed to provide gift cards that supported Little Mama's, Roots Cafe, and Community Matter cafes for all attendees. I also want to recognize and thank Kim Bratton Media. They've helped us live stream today's virtual luncheon, and she and her team created the special videos that you'll see of our honorees shortly. They're almost as special as the honorees themselves. Thank you, Kim, and your team. Thank you guys for joining us virtually. It's so different, but it doesn't change the fact that we should be celebrating the very generous community that we live in, and I'll turn it back over to Ohavia.
Thank you so much, Penny. I can appreciate that. And also, friends, I think it is so important to note that while we are celebrating the path forward, let us remember why we are here, right? So amid a pandemic, and even currently in the flood, reporting live from Norfolk Punch, now's the time more than ever for us to give one another grace and space and lead with love, okay? The reason why I put on my mask is so we can be reminded to give one another patience, but also as we show up for each other to continue to do so authentically, because that is celebrating the path forward. Okay, friends, so I am so excited to get into our award recipients and also those who will introduce them. Our first award is in recognition of the philanthropic work of an outstanding small business, Loebsack and Brownlee. Here's a peek at the work that they've been doing. Tune in to the video.
I am Sierra Robbins, and I am with Loebsack and Brownlee, and our passion is people.
Hi, I'm Chris Loebsack with Loebsack and Brownlee. Our passion is helping the domestic violence victims that are supported by Safe Alliance. My late wife was murdered by her father in 2007, and so after that, Safe Alliance heard about that, and they asked me to be their speaker at their Men for Change breakfast the next year, and so since then I've been involved. We have sponsored 2 of the 3-bedroom apartments that are at the new domestic violence shelter when they built it, and named them after my wife and her sister, who were both victims. Men for Change is a group that Safe Alliance sponsors and empowers. It's men who get together to try and be supportive of the mission of Safe Alliance by being men trying to enact change in society around the domestic violence problem.
2017, we started this campaign called Purple Out. We had created this campaign where people would be encouraged to wear purple on Fridays and take selfies, and they would post it to social media, and then we would donate $5 per person wearing the purple in the selfies.
To me, the path forward is really about continuing to use the power of social media and the connectivity that have become really an omnipresent part of our life, and use that to share messages, to help empower people, fundraise, drum up support, take advantage of the medium and use it for what it's best at.
If 2020 has taught us anything, it's that we have to be aware. And so I think our path forward really has to start with the awareness piece of what our fellow people in the community are struggling with, and where we can place ourselves and position ourselves to help them in the best way that we see fit. And so I think that really is our path together forward.
Present the presenter for the Outstanding Small Business Award, Ms. Tennille Banner.
Good afternoon. Thoughtful, generous, community, socially conscious, or as I like to say, woke. These are just a few of the words that come to mind when I think of Lobasac and Brownlee. I've had the privilege of working with and getting to know Chris and Sierra over the past few years. From day one, there was no doubt that they truly cared and genuinely wanted to help the survivors we serve each day at Safe Alliance. With his strong personal passion to advocate for those dealing with domestic violence and sexual assault, Chris leads his team by example. Coupled with Sierra's ability to think outside the box and leverage their brilliant marketing team, Lobasac and Brownlee has become one of our most valued partners. Whether they are decorating bulletin boards, dancing and playing video games with residents at the domestic violence shelter, or giving gifts to support the life-saving work of Safe Alliance, Lobasac and Brownlee is a fantastic model of philanthropy. And Safe Alliance is beyond grateful for their continued support. At this time, it is my honor to introduce Chris Lobasac and Sierra Robbins, representing Lobasac and Brownlee, and winners of the 2020 National Philanthropy Day Outstanding Philanthropic Small Business. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, to everyone here and everyone in the lens, on the other side of that lens, I'm honored and not often at a loss for words, but this is one of those moments where I don't really have a prepared speech. If there was a judge in the room, I might be a little better off. But without that, I can start by saying that I'm grateful for everyone who thought of us for this award, but most of all, I'm grateful for the help of Sierra. As you saw her on the video, she's really the engine. I may be the person that thought of the ideas and asked for the help, but without Sierra, the whole operation would not go forward very much and would never go very much farther past my front door. So as much as I thank all of you for thinking of us, I want everybody here to thank Sierra for being the person who's in charge of our outreach initiatives, and she's the one that makes things like this terrific mask and has the program and makes sure that it runs right and makes sure that we're connected to all the people. So it really is a team effort. You cannot help other people without a lot of great people helping you help them, and that's where our team, led by Sierra, really makes this such a great team award, and I'm honored to accept it for everybody here at the team. and I'm really grateful that we've been able to have such a great partnership with Safe Alliance, and we look forward to many more fun things to come when the universe allows us to get back to doing business the way we like to. I know that there's many more fun ideas that Sierra is going to come up with in ways that we can support the residents and the community in their fight to help the victims of domestic violence here in Charlotte. So again, everyone, thank you. Please let me thank Sierra and all of you who are out there in remote land. You can clap remotely, but it's a great honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you very much.
We love to see it. Major shout out and giving flowers to Chris and Sierra for the amazing work that they do. Listen, you all, you are tuned in, right place, right time, VIP seat to celebrate all of the amazing community leaders who serve here in Charlotte. So what makes an outstanding student philanthropist? And it just so happens her name is Molly Green. Well, let's see what makes her. Tune into this video.
I'm Molly Green, and I am passionate about helping animals and focusing on animal welfare, especially with the Humane Society of Charlotte. Focusing on animal welfare started when I was 4, when I saw there was a little box on the counter taking donations with sad puppies on the front. They suggested to me hosting a fundraiser, and I had done a lot of lemonade stands, so I thought a big lemonade stand sounded fun. I think they assumed it was just another lemonade stand or something, and telling them that it was a larger sum of money than that, watching like their eyes tear up and come and hug me and things like that just shows that there's people working every single day at the shelter to make a difference, and that I can make a difference for them and for the resources they have access to is really cool and makes me want to keep doing it. I started a club at Charlotte Latin for Paws for the Cause, and we make blankets and things like that. I think that working together and offering different perspectives and ideas and coming from diverse backgrounds allows for a bigger and better path forward for everyone to have the opportunities and resources that they need to be successful. It does give me a lot of satisfaction to know that I can make a difference.
Introduce this year's outstanding student philanthropist. This young lady began helping the Humane Society of Charlotte as just a little girl, as you saw in the video, asking her mom to put spare change in a collection jar to help animals in need. Her passion for animal welfare grew exponentially over the years, and she began hosting a hot dog dinner to raise money for our organization. She shared this event with her friends and neighbors, and this small little dinner grew to over seven years' time into a well-attended, professionally run event, complete with an auction with celebrity memorabilia. Her efforts have raised over $40,000 for the Humane Society of Charlotte, and she's truly inspired all of us. In addition to hosting annual fundraising events, she also created and led the Charlotte Latin student organization called Paws for a Cause. And when she was getting ready to go off to college, she even ensured there was a leadership succession plan in place to make sure her group would still thrive in her absence. As if all of that wasn't enough, she even interned with the Humane Society of Charlotte on her college breaks. We've had the pleasure of seeing this amazing young lady transform into a beautiful woman who is passionate, tenacious, and is on her way to making the world a better place. Her dedication has inspired so many of us, and it is my pleasure to introduce the 2020 Outstanding Student Philanthropist, Molly Green.
Hello. Thank you so much for the kind words, Donna, and I am so grateful in relationships that I've had through the years at the Humane Society of Charlotte. They do such incredible work, and I am so thankful to be a small part of all that they do for our community and for the animals within our community. They were so kind to put their trust in a young 13-year-old girl who had for a fundraiser a little bigger than a stand, and they have supported throughout the past 8 years with Paws for the Cause and far beyond. My relationship with the Humane Society of Charlotte has allowed me to find my path for the future and instilled passion in me to continue with philanthropy through college, and I plan to continue that after graduation as well, when I'll be working full-time with Bank of America in their environmental social governance group, focusing on philanthropic and social justice efforts. I've been so fortunate to receive so much support from volunteers, family, friends, businesses, and other organizations, and it's been so inspiring to see such kindness and generosity flow from our community to support animals in need. I am so honored to be here virtually today and be recognized with so many amazing philanthropists who are doing such great work in the Charlotte community. And I want to thank the Association of Fundraising Professionals as well for an amazing honor and putting on such a great event. And I also want to thank all of you for everything you've done and continue to do to support our community. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Valeda Fullwood, and I started a group to promote greater giving in Charlotte. Our group is New Generation of African American Philanthropists, NGAP Charlotte for short, and we formed because we thought it was important to have a more prominent presence in the community as Black givers and philanthropists, and to lift up and elevate traditions of giving that exist in Black communities. That included stories of giving of time, talent, and treasure. That was pretty awesome, being a part of TEDx Charlotte. We did a co-presentation. It was me along with Charles Thomas, who is a co-creator of the book Giving Back and also a member of our Giving Circle. As we engaged a variety of Black people across generations around their stories of giving and philanthropy, the TED Talk centered around authenticity and the power of sharing your stories. And one of the most gratifying, affirming things is that it's been reimagined as a touring museum exhibition called The Soul of Philanthropy that's been to dozens of communities and provides a way to host civic engagement and engage people around their stories of philanthropy and help them see philanthropy differently. If I could change anything in the world, particularly at this time, it would be a broader recognition of the power and the diversity of cultures of giving. I know for me and my fellow members of New Generation of African American Philanthropists, the path forward is really defined by our courage and our boldness in how we engage in philanthropy.
All right, an outstanding student philanthropist indeed. And now it is truly my honor to bring up AFP's very own Mr. Mike Blackwelder.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Mike Blackwelder. I am the Chief Administrative Officer with Smart Start of Mecklenburg County, and it has been a great pleasure to nominate and now present this award. As you can see in the video, Valeda's work has had such an impact on the Charlotte community and beyond. Valeda and I first connected a few years ago when the AFP board decided to bring our Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Access platform here locally to the Charlotte chapter. In my experience with this work, it's often difficult to move from the conceptual theory part to the strategy and action part. But Valeda does this effortlessly and effectively in all of her work, connecting the principles of diversity directly to philanthropy, providing awareness and impact to people of color and marginalized groups every step of the way. This year alone, the work of the New Generation of African American Philanthropists on the BOLD project, which included Black Philanthropy Month, Charlotte Gives Black, provided much needed leadership and focus on racial inequities at a time when our community and country continue to experience so much social injustice. It is my great honor to introduce this year's Outstanding Champion of Diversity, Valeda Fullwood.
Thank you so much. I've got to say today, and this award is truly a huge bright spot on an otherwise rainy, gloomy day. And in fact, today is par for the course for 2020. But I'm glad you joined us today, and I'm glad to receive this award. I want to thank Mike for the nomination. As he mentioned, we met a few years ago, but we didn't know each other well. And the fact that he observed my work and was willing to nominate me for an award, I'm truly grateful. I know sometimes when you have your head down, working, focused on an initiative or an issue or organization, that you don't know who's noticing, and sometimes you wonder who even cares. And awards like this and nominations such as Mike's means so much to me, and I appreciate it. I also want to thank AFP Charlotte Chapter for today's event and for acknowledging people doing good work and philanthropic work in Charlotte. I'm happy about AFP's work around inclusion, diversity, equity, and access. I was glad to play a small part a few years ago as it delved into that work, and already I see just in this small microcosm of a luncheon already changes in terms of who's included and who's present at today's luncheon. I'm here because of my involvement with New Generation of African American Philanthropists, which is a collective giving group. We pool our charitable dollars and give back and make grants in community. We've been around for around 14 years, and being a part of our giving circle has transformed my life, and I hope even half as much as we transformed lives and organizations that we work with. Being a part of our giving circle, I've made new lifelong friends. I've learned so much about philanthropic work in our community. I was inspired to write a book and became an author with Giving Back, a tribute to generations of African American philanthropists. That book became a museum exhibition that's touring the country, so I've had opportunities to engage with philanthropic groups and philanthropists and givers and doers across the country and learned so much. I'm proud that in this moment, even in an awful, awful year in so many ways, that I have purposeful work, and a lot of that is related to my involvement with NGAP, my giving circle. And I would say for the Charlotte community on our path going forward, that we can do good, but we also must do what's right. And I hope that is a call to action for our community going forward. Thank you again. I appreciate this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Fullwood, for all the work that you do in the community. Have to publicly give you your flowers. And there was something that she said that really inspired me to come up with a quote for celebrating the path forward, and it was the relentless pursuit, right, friends? So whatever it is that you want to commit to, whether it is community, whether it's community building, all things in between, it is so important that we have a relentless pursuit of excellence. Listen, friends, we are live from the pivot, okay? But what I love about it is we all came together to make this happen, and that is what truly matters, okay? So it's the relentless pursuit of excellence as community in collaboration and with networking. Okay, I am so excited to now present to you the Outstanding Emerging Philanthropist video. So before you tune in, I have to give this person their flowers. Let's give a big ups to Sydney Hammond in the chat, and now you can tune in to the video.
Hi, I'm Brandon Swiderski, and I'm with Made to Last Tattoo. Our passion is to use our platform with a pretty non-traditional sense of philanthropy, but to benefit our greater community in any way that we can. Something a little out of the ordinary for a tattoo shop, I guess. Growing up really young especially, I was in scenarios of domestic violence. I witnessed a lot of scenarios outside of that in my own family and my friends group, so it was an easy cause to want to be a part of and to benefit. All of the proceeds went to Safe Alliance. We've done 2 years of the Flash event. We did $23,000 in one day, tattooed for 18 hours straight. We've also done the holiday drive, which was a lot of fun, which honestly was as easy as making a couple of posts, and all of our clients were super excited to send stuff. We had people Amazon priming gifts and dropping stuff off. But even beyond that, people were just excited to help. I don't think anybody really cared about the extra money. They were bringing 12 gifts instead of one, which was the requirement. So that was pretty wild. There's maybe 4 or 5 carloads full of gifts that we brought for the moms and the kids, which is really cool. The path forward to me is just looking outside of yourself. That's kind of easy sometimes to do if you just think about it. A couple touches of my thumbs on my phone brought gifts and empowerment to families, you know, and I didn't really do much. So the path forward to me is just that consideration, I guess, that energy, even just a little bit of it, and I think that goes a long way for a lot of people.
As promised, I wanted to brag a little bit about AFP's very own Sydney. She was here on site to make all of this happen, so it gives me great honor to present to you all AFP's very own, to present the Outstanding Emerging Philanthropist Award, Miss Sydney Hammond.
Thank you very much, Ohavia, but this is definitely not about me. I am here to talk about Brandon Swiderski. He is a generous and influential philanthropist. His role at Made to Last Tattoo, an internationally recognized and respected shop, and his position in the tattoo community allow Brandon to amplify his impact for the causes he supports. His philosophy for the shop and his personal philanthropy are the same: inclusivity, acceptance, and giving back. When I met with Brandon to prepare our nomination for this award, something that he said stood out to me. He said, "Anybody deserves the opportunity to get tattooed in my shop, just like anybody deserves the opportunity to heal, to grow." Brandon gives his funds, his time, his influence, and his passion to support Safe Alliance because supporting survivors of domestic and sexual violence is near and dear to him. But he is the first person to stand up and support a friend in need as well. Brandon has proven himself to be a civic leader, and he has a gift for organizing and inspiring his community to follow his generous lead and make a tremendous impact. Charlotte is lucky to have Brandon as an emerging philanthropist in our community, and Safe Alliance is so grateful for his vision, leadership, and generosity.
I expected to see some more neck tattoos in the crowd, but I guess I was wrong. All right. I was recently listening to a podcast about the historical context of disparity in our society. There was one thing that really stuck with me. One thing that Malcolm Gladwell said is, "We hold an ideology that talent is a tangible thing, that it will inherently prevail and rise to the top, a rose in concrete." I like to challenge that sentiment, though. I believe that talent oftentimes requires an endorsement in order to triumph. A little bit of purposeful facetiousness here, but does a child in the ghetto make it out on their jump shot alone, or does it typically require a scout or some sort of agent to provide an exposure or a path? Anyone can possess a skill but not have an avenue to operate within. I've been given that word talent a lot recently, even this morning at the coffee shop. And as grateful as I am, I have a difficult time accepting accolade. My mother often reminds me to accept 10% and carry on, but if I'm being honest, I don't know that I can accept empathy as a talent. I'm unbelievably grateful for this honor, and Sydney and Tennille and all the incredible people at Safe Alliance for the recognition. I'm thankful for my owners at Made to Last, Chris and Matt, for trusting me and giving me the environment to flourish within. I couldn't have done any of this without my entire team at the shop. I'll accept my 10%, but I'm ready to move forward. As you could probably gather from looking at me, I like to challenge often, and that's what I intend to do. We're all here for a reason. We did something commendable in our community, but what good is our talent if we don't spread it like wildfire? Let's not just continue in our endeavors, but instill them into others. If we're being honest with each other, empathy is kind of easy, and I think most people would really be fulfilled with this line of work, but just haven't been given that outlet to function. So let's endorse those talents that surround us. Caring and doing good for others is easy, it's fun, it feels incredible, and if you disagree, I'd argue that you're maybe doing it wrong. And over the last year or so, I've definitely gotten to see that people are willing to engage. I've recently started my own nonprofit foundation for grassroots fundraising to benefit under-resourced communities in our city. I want to make charity cool. I want to make it less conventional. I want to make it feel less detached from daily life, and I want it to feel more accessible. And most of all, I want to work with every one of you and everybody that's watching. I've been lucky enough to feel championed by Safe Alliance and by those around me, and I'm ready to keep moving. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eileen Keeley, Vice President for College Relations at Davidson College. Fiscal year 19 was the last year of our campaign. We raised $555 million in the campaign overall. Our goal was $425 million. In the last year, we raised $106 million, which was $25 million more than any other previous year. So we kind of knocked it out of the park. The secret begins, at least with our alumni, with a 4-year experience at Davidson. And Davidson is a place where people's lives are transformed. And as a result of that, they want to give back. I think beyond the numbers, it's really walking around on campus every day and seeing students and knowing that that student is here because of the scholarship that got created as part of the campaign, or that sculpture, that amazing, beautiful Shonobari sculpture, for example, is here as a result of the efforts that we put into the campaign. With the pandemic and the economic challenges that are resulting from that, I think our path forward is harder. It's almost like a wartime philosophy of everyone coming together on the fundraising side, sharing stories and sharing resources and remaining connected with each other will be an important part of our path forward. And I think there's hope at the end of it.
Good afternoon. I'm Carol Quillen, and I have the privilege of serving as president of Davidson College, and it's been a great gift of Davidson that I get to be a colleague of Eileen Keeley. At Davidson, our primary purpose is to assist students in developing humane instincts and disciplined and creative minds for leadership and service. We ask prospective students to join a community of smart, driven, kind people like Eileen. And over the course of their time with us, we hope that our students figure out where their particular gifts meet what the world needs. Most of our graduates eventually leave campus and don't return for a long time, but Davidson is a far better place because Eileen came back quickly. She's from the class of 1989, and she's been at Davidson for a while. She embodies the humility, inclusion, resilience, creativity, commitment to innovation, and a servant leader's heart that we hope all of our students end up exhibiting in the world after they leave Davidson. Our students are incredibly lucky to have Eileen as an example while they're here. Eileen is not just a fundraiser, she's an incredibly gifted one. She's also a philanthropist herself, and she exhibits in her own life the generosity of spirit and the commitment to building a better world that makes this group so important. It's really an incredible pleasure and privilege for me to introduce Eileen Keeley, Vice President for College Relations at Davidson College and the 2020 Outstanding Fundraising Executive. Yay, Eileen.
Thank you, Carol. And thank you to my AFP Charlotte chapter colleagues for this humbling honor and recognition. When I returned to Davidson 1 year after I graduated, I thought I'd be here for 2 or 3 years. And it's been my privilege to serve Davidson as part of college relations for the last 30 years. My various roles have taken me down many paths underneath the broad fundraising canopy, but what has remained constant is the opportunity to engage with our alumni, families, and friends to make Davidson better for our students. I'm indebted to Jamie May for hiring me as a bright-eyed young alumna and to the other mentors I've had along the way, including Kristen Bradbury and Carol Quillen, who join us today. I'm grateful for the privilege of smart and caring colleagues and donors who regularly teach me something new about the work we do. I could not have done as much or as well without the support of my husband, Pat Millen, and my kids, Patty, Franny, and Sam, who have each had to endure sacrifices along this journey and who nonetheless have never wavered and cheered me on every step of the way. I thank my parents who quietly encouraged me 35 years ago to attend Davidson College because they knew that I would grow and thrive in a community that values the development of humane instincts as much as the development of disciplined and creative minds. If this year has shown us anything, it's that we can never predict where our jobs and our lives might take us, and that our work in development is critical and necessary. I'm so proud to work in this industry and to support a college that turns out graduates who are committed to make a difference in their communities and around the world. My career is a labor of love, and I look forward to everything still to come. Thank you again for this very special award.
My name is Chris Clooney. I'm the Director of Athletics at Davidson College, and I'm here to talk about Dean Terry. In technical terms, he was the Dean of Students. In personal terms as well. Like, he really was the person that really interacted with the students on their level and cared for them, and that's why he was sort of seen as their integral part of Davidson for so long, and the countless people that he impacted, his life was woven into so many others' lives throughout the years. Will Terry was a force, if you will. He was a powerful person. You always knew when he was around because he was extremely loud, but Will was a leader, a mentor. He helped people grow into who they were supposed to be. I always envision people trying to become the best version of themselves, and Will Terry was somebody who helped people become the best version of themselves. I think about Star Wars. Like, Will Terry was a Jedi Master, and he was training us all to be Jedi. I think a lot of what he did was grounded in his faith in humanity, his faith in people, his faith in a higher power, and his faith in a sense of restorative justice. I think there's this sense around Will Terry that, you know, folks make mistakes. We're human, and he embraced that to its entirety. His legacy is really, in my mind, the people that he impacted. You see him through all the folks that he either taught or mentored or led through his scholarship program. We talk about impact on the world, like we don't just want to have impact, we want to have disproportionate impact. That's what Davidson really, it's a higher calling. And so I see a lot of Will Terry in that, in the sense that he's asking us to do more than the general person. He wants more, he expects more, and we have to expect more of ourselves. And so you think about what was done in the past to help curate the vision for a better future.
Thank you, Chris. Chris is a former Terry Scholar who daily puts Will's leadership lessons to use on our campus. It's also my privilege today to accept the Outstanding Legacy Award on behalf of the late Will Terry. It's a personal pleasure for me because Will was one of the first people to welcome me to the Davidson family. During his 23 years as Dean of Students and up until his death, Will deeply influenced the Davidson College student experience on bedrock principles of service, leadership, honor, faith, and responsibility. He modeled these principles in an era of significant change in the life of the college, including coeducation and increasing diversity. In his lifetime of leadership and in his half-century of service to Davidson, Will embodied the values of the college in his every interaction. His sharp wit, his keen insight, his empathy, and his generosity of spirit enabled Will to give himself over to nurturing promising young people, to pick them up when they fell, and to encourage them even when they couldn't see possibilities for themselves. Generations of Davidson alums lead lives of consequence because of his high expectations, his wisdom, and his hospitality. Will's generosity through his estate allowed this legacy to continue. The Terry Scholarship is one of Davidson College's preeminent merit awards. Its design acknowledges Will's belief that leaders are made, not born. The scholarship's recipients form a cohort of students chosen for their potential for leadership and growth, both on campus and in their careers and lives after Davidson. The scholarship program challenges and strengthens students, more than 110 of them and counting, through mentorship, networking, and unique opportunities to interact with established and recognized local and national leaders. While Will would likely deny this, he would be so pleased that his vision and generosity were recognized in this way today. Thank you all so very much for honoring Will Terry as the Outstanding Legacy for 2020.
Yes, indeed, friends. Welcome back. So you are tuned in live. You've seen all of the videos and see all of the amazing community leaders, work that they're doing, and legacy left behind. So friends, I have the amazing opportunity for sharing another quote when we talk celebrating the path forward. And for me, it comes from a good friend of mine. Her name is Tori Savage from The Savage Way, known for all things Mossart and also community leading. She said something to me, it was so good. She said, always do something different. And I would like to inspire you all to do something different. A lot of times we get caught up in what's comfortable, but sometimes you have to shake up the standard in the relentless pursuit of excellence, like said earlier. So sometimes that good trouble is okay. Serving and breaking down that fourth wall is okay, and acknowledging that we can all be different and better together is absolutely okay, all right? So friends, listen, go ahead and do something different. I am inspiring you the AFP way. All right, friends, so next up, we will have the video of the outstanding philanthropic organization. Tune in and see these leaders.
Hi, I'm Robin Hearn, and I'm from the Assistance League of Charlotte. We have 5 philanthropic programs, and improving lives in our community, we feed, we clothe, we mentor, and we educate. Our first program was Operation Check Hunger, and there's a great deal of food need in our community. So we provide food assistance. Families with their children can come in and shop for fresh meat, fresh produce, and canned goods and bread. Operation School Bell is our signature program. These children are selected by CMS and are bussed in. They arrive and are greeted by our member volunteers. Then they begin shopping for new clothing for school. Mecklenburg County Teen Court is an alternative justice system. It's teens helping teens. So a juvenile with a misdemeanor has an opportunity to have their record cleaned, their misdemeanor removed. We have less than 5% recidivism rate. We offer college scholarships if a CMS high school senior is interested in attending one of the 16 University of North Carolina school system schools, or CPCC. Our largest source of funds is our thrift shop, our award-winning thrift shop at 3405 South Tryon Street. We accept gently used household items, and we market them at an affordable price. Our member volunteers are passionate. We do it all, and that passion is evident every day. We are together every day. We're making a difference in our community. Our path forward as a nonprofit is to continue our efforts to improve families and their children in our community, working with our nonprofit partners, stepping forward and out, and making a difference.
Good afternoon. I'm Stephanie Stenglein with Arts Plus, and it is my pleasure to introduce the Assistance League of Charlotte as 2020's Outstanding Philanthropic Organization. The Assistance League is the epitome of this honor. This is a volunteer organization that makes huge impacts in our community, from outfitting hundreds of children with clothes for school, to feeding countless neighbors, to providing music lessons, to dedicated students at Arts Plus. The Assistance League is very thoughtful and strategic in their philanthropy and commitment to feed, mentor, clothe, and educate our community. Congratulations to the Assistance League for this well-deserved honor, and accepting on behalf of the Assistance League is Judith Sanford, Vice President of Philanthropic Programs.
Hi, how are you? I just want to extend our appreciation to the Association of Fundraising Professionals, the Charlotte chapter, for hosting this wonderful event and recognizing philanthropy in our Charlotte area. And thanks to Arts Plus and Stephanie for nominating Assistance League of Charlotte for this award. And, you know, we support Arts Plus, so I thought it was important to actually show this award, because look how beautiful this is. This is done by a local artist, Kyle Mosher, and Nick told me all about it when he brought it to my home during these times of social distancing. So wanted to just acknowledge what a beautiful award this is. Also with us today from Assistance League is Peggy Thomas, our VP of Fund Development, and Mary Lou Gergrich, our president. We are very proud to represent Assistance League. We are definitely a proud member volunteer organization that focuses on supporting so many disadvantaged and at-risk children, teens, and families in our area. You've heard all about us on with our video and through our introduction, so I'm not going to belabor that. But I do want to let you know that our hardworking and innovative members are continuing to serve our community through all of our philanthropic programs, despite the COVID challenges. I'm so proud of them. And we are proud to support Arts Plus in their mission to provide art education in children in need. And they continue to chug along, just as CMS, Loaves and Fishes, Second Harvest Food Bank, all are working so hard to make a difference. And I do want to say that our members continue to raise funds, and our thrift shop is open. And so As you heard, it's at 3405, and we did get voted the best thrift shop by Creative Loafing. So I would encourage you all to come and visit and shop and save and support our mission. And again, thank you to all for the award and for working so hard to make this event happen during these challenging times. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Lori Sklut.
And I'm Eric Sklut, and we're part of the Levine Sklut Family Foundation. Our primary objectives with our foundation involve philanthropy throughout the region, the country, as well as some international agencies. I think Lori and I both have the same philosophy that the more heads that can be touched by every dollar, the better. For us, it's more about the volume of help that that agency does and how efficient they are. And the best example is Loaves and Fishes.
We think doing challenge matches really motivates people. We were lucky enough to do a challenge match with Loaves and Fishes. And what was so wonderful, you had people who could only give $1 or people who could give $100, and whatever you gave made a huge difference.
Faith-based initiatives are a big part. We're both Jewish. We grew up in a Jewish environment. Tzedakah is a big thing, charity, giving back.
Hopefully we're going to be coming out of COVID next year, if we're lucky, and that everyone realize what's really important in life. And it's not necessarily all the things we acquire, but it's helping others who are less fortunate.
I think from a path forward, if you want to say forward thinking, for those who are able to write the check and to volunteer, we certainly encourage them to do that. And we know people are strapped, and we don't expect, no one expects them to forego food for their kids or taking care of an elderly to donate to a charity. But if they're in a position to do so, even if it's a small amount, we certainly would encourage it.
Well, hello, friends. I'm Tina Pastel. I'm the Executive Director for Loaves and Fishes, and I am honored to introduce you to this year's Outstanding Philanthropist recipients. So these award winners today embody the true spirit of philanthropy, and not just personally through their generosity, but through their leadership and through their networking, and of course through their challenge grants. You will not meet two more engaged donors than Lori and Eric, who pour themselves into their philanthropic work, not for accolades or recognition, but truly because they understand the joy of giving, and they are committed to just making life better for everyone in our community. Eric and Lori work tirelessly to spread this joy of giving to others. To them, philanthropy isn't about money. It is about the impact and the lives of and lives being changed for the better. So it is my sincere privilege and honor to introduce you to this year's Outstanding Philanthropists, my friends, Eric and Lori Sklut. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tina. We're joining everybody else. We're stuck at home with the floods, but very much appreciate this honor, both the nomination from Loaves and Fishes, one of the greatest nonprofit agencies we've witnessed, and the Association of Fundraising Professionals. It's been a delightful time to be part of what's going on in this community. As difficult as the times are with COVID and the restrictions that are in place, to see the nonprofit world step up in such a massively great way, pulling together resources. Certainly everyone is strapped, but watching the agencies that we're involved with and how well they're performing and the services they're providing has just been, for us, it's been rewarding to see. And certainly we participate along with all of you in the room and on the screens. We very much appreciate how much everybody is doing to just make this world a better place.
And I also wanted to thank everyone for this wonderful award. We're very humbled by it.
and wanted to also thank my parents who have been wonderful role models, Leon and Sandra Levine, and have taught us from a very early age the importance of giving back to those less fortunate. And thank you again for everyone for giving us this award, and we very much appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm Joan Zimmerman, and I'm involved in too many things. Some of my favorites are Dress for Success, Veterans Bridge Home, Good Friends, my church, and the list goes on. I am involved with Veterans Bridge Home because I grew up in England during World War II, so I have seen what war does to people. When veterans come home, the men and the women, to their families, and what it does to them, not just during the war, but most especially if they're lucky enough to get home, what happens when they get home. Dress for Success is another amazing organization. The fact is, Dress for Success doesn't just dress women for interviews. They teach them the skills, they teach them interview skills, they help them learn the things that they need to know to do the job that they're applying for. And yes, they do give them several outfits to boost their confidence. People seem to think that philanthropy is about money. Philanthropy is about giving, and it can be giving your time, your expertise, your talents, it can be helping your neighbor, it can be so many things. That is philanthropy. Madame Curie said, we never look at what has been done, we always look at what still needs to be done. So if the philanthropists and the people who are interested in this community and the world, that is the path forward. What needs to be done? Not what has been done, what needs to be done.
As many of you know, my mother, Joan Zimmerman, has been involved in the business and philanthropic communities here in Charlotte pretty much since she arrived here in 1963. During that time, she's been introduced probably hundreds of times, but as far as I know, this is the first time I have ever introduced her. So I have a lot of catching up to do. Unfortunately, they only gave me a minute, so rather than talking about how wonderful she is, I'm going to concentrate on what makes her a fundraising superstar. She is organized, she has a plan, and she sticks to it. People trust her. They know she's not in it for herself. They know she will do what she says she will do. And 9 times out of 10, this is not the first time they have heard from her. Her emails with tidbits of news and information, because it made me think about you, are legendary. She is a great salesperson. She studies the prospect, crafts her presentation to push the right buttons, and she knows how to close. And like every successful salesperson, there's never a doubt that she believes in what she's selling. But when it comes to the charities that she has supported over many years, she absolutely does. So it is my honor to introduce my fundraising superstar mother, Joan Zimmerman.
Well, superstar mother obviously did not get the clue to get in on time. Thank you, David. That was wonderful. I should tell you that at the age of 88, my role now is to be the senior commentator, a role for which I am very well qualified. You know, last Sunday, our minister, Bob Henderson, shared a virtual sermon on the word power. And my takeaway from that sermon was that real power is about service, and real power is about finding a way to say yes. And it occurred to me that both of the organizations that I'm honored to represent today, and those are Veterans Bridge Home and Dress for Success, they are the epitome of both of those things. Veterans Bridge Home, through its leadership and volunteers, they provide amazing service in most areas of a veteran's life. And no matter what the need, they always find a way to say yes. And Dress for Success's mission is to empower women in their financial and personal lives. They do this through service and by saying yes, no matter what the outstanding or close to home request might be. And they do it again because of their leadership and their volunteers. So Blake for Veterans Bridge Home, and Tommy and Patty for Veterans Bridge Home, and Curry for Dress for Success, and your amazing staffs who are brilliant. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your organization. I'm grateful really for the opportunity. And also special thanks to AFP for making this event happen. I know it was not easy to do virtual and face-to-face. And of course, major thanks to the philanthropists everywhere, because you are the ones who contribute your power, your treasure, and your service. We volunteers can only ask. You have the power to say yes, and you have done that so many times and in so many ways. So thank you to all.
Yes, indeed, friends. So you have just witnessed basically a beautiful amount of videos featuring some of Charlotte's beautiful community leaders, and I was definitely honored to have them presented here in Norfolk Punch. So I just want to give a few thanks. Special thanks to AFP Charlotte, also to Kim and the media team. Thank you all so much. Also, big ups to Norfolk Punch. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this here. And to you, okay, reporting live from the Lunchpool room. We appreciate you so much from all of us here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, friends, so listen, don't stop serving. Remember, philanthropy is not only about money, but especially service. Continue to show up in your communities, and let's take all of the amazing networking, collaborating efforts that we are working toward out in those streets. Stand 10 toes down and keep serving. Until next time, friends, have an awesome day.